Hello everybody, it's Marie here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I am from Sydney, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. Now today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video where I am showing you how I store my stamps, and I'm not sure whenabouts I'm going to put this in the video, but you're going to see my stamping storage shame. Basically, after so many years being a Stampin' Up demonstrator, and now I'm no longer one, but after so many years I have collected hundreds, literally hundreds of stamps and dies, and I'm finding that the storage of these stamps, being in these bulky DVD cases, is becoming a big challenge. And I'm a little bit of a hoarder, and I like what I've bought in the past, and I can see myself using them in the future at some point. I'm finding it really difficult to store all these things, and they've encroached on our living space as well, and they're scattered throughout our 2-bedroom apartment. So it's really difficult. So today's video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to reorganize my stamps and literally halve my storage, because this is not working for me anymore. And as much as these stamp cases are really good in protecting the stamps and keeping everything nice, I think as well they are a little bit unnecessary. So I'm going to show you how I am going to rearrange this and save space, so you can see exactly how much room I have saved. So stay with me, and I'll just get rid of this now. So this is one of my bins that I store my stamps in. So in that it can fit 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 stamp sets. And I've got 2 of these on top of each other. And then I'll show you where I store my other ones next. And this is now these are big bins. I got these from an actual, what's it called? Like a auto shop. So it was big capacity. I don't know how many litres it holds, but here I have stamp sets that are on the top, underneath, and I've got my dies and embossing folders, and I've got 2 of these, and that's that one and that one. So that's lots of stamps right there. So then I'll show you my next area. This is another area where I store my stamps, and they're scattered literally throughout my apartment, so it's getting a bit much. So this I cleaned out recently, and basically you'll see in the next cupboard how I've stored it, but that's basically where my stamps are. There's normally 2 rows and another row on the side there, and I've just cleaned that up a bit lately because I'm going to really reorganize everything. And underneath here is where I have my embossing powders and all of my stamp pads. So that's that one. My other cupboard, which is the mirror image of the one I just showed you, and this is packed to the brim on the behind. There's another 2 rows of stamp sets, plus the stuff on the side, and I've got stuff from other brands here on the side. And underneath here I've got all my bigs dies and cardstock as well, and a non-Stampin' Up stamp set, which is beautiful. I love this one with the clouds. I think that's from Hero Arts. And then I'll show you more stamps. And this is literally 2 garbage bags, basically full of stamps that I want to rearrange. Take out all of these DVD cases, and that's another one. There's a lot of stamps in there. I don't even know how many, but it's quite tall, if you can see that. Yeah, there's quite a few stamp sets in there. So yeah, these either need to be sold off or reorganizing, and I'm just going to choose to reorganize for now, and we'll get going. So this is not a unique thing. This has been around for a really long time, but I've discovered the Avery Elle extra large stamp and storage die storage pockets. Now these are not, they've been on the market for a while, but I got these 6 3/4 by 9 3/8 pockets, and I got several 50 packs so that I can rearrange my stamps. Now if you will see here, I have done a couple already, and the amount of storage space it takes is phenomenal. I can fit rather than fitting in this box here, I've got, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 stamps along with the matching dies of those that have dies. I'm going to show you how much room you're going to save. So, this is the Forever Fern die, and the way I've done it is I've just basically taken off the carrier sheet. Basically, I've just made a carrier sheet laminating half of a copy paper, and that way I can stick my stamps onto it, and that's for the cling mount stamps, the rubber stamps. I still kept the packaging, so that stays. And the reason why I picked the large one is because this is nice and wide. I can now fit my dies, the large ones, right? So just be careful how you take it out. But basically, I can fit them in their original packaging, and I just stick them in the pocket, and it's nice and simple. So I just put it in there, then I put my stamp behind it, and that can fit the wide ones, which is great. And then I just stick my stamps behind it, and they're stored together, so there's no more trying to find where are my stamps. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. So that's the wide ones, and it works as well, equally well with the slimmer stamp, the dies. So I'll put this to one side. So we'll put these to one side too. So what I have done is I've just got some A4 laminating pouches and 2 sheets of A4 copy paper, rubbish paper, whatever you have on hand, just use that. So I've got a laminating sheet out, and what I'm going to do is literally laminate one side. So I'm going to just take apart, I'm going to cut off that bit where it joins the laminating pouch together. So I'm just going to grab my trimmer, and I'm just going to literally just cut off just that binding part. I don't think that cut. Hang on a second. Yeah, that's better. So I'll just cut that off. Okay, so I've just cut off that strip, finished. Put that away for now. And then what I'm going to do is pull the laminating pouch apart. So I'm just going to grab a piece of copy paper, like so. Just put it over the top like this. And that fits the A4 pretty nicely, like so. And I'll do the same for the other one. And I'm going to run these through my laminating machine, and I will be back. I've just laminated one of them because it jammed inside the laminating machine. So that's one of them, but basically what the aim is you have one side laminated, right? So that's the laminated part, and the other side is just the plain paper. So I'm going to show you an even easier way. So ignore the first way I told you, but with this way, what we're going to get is 2 pieces of, copy paper. Just going to make them nice and even. I'm going to grab a laminating pouch. So I'll just grab one out of my packet here. Just the one. And I always save my little pieces that I haven't used, so that way I can use them for other projects. There's so many videos out there on laminating things. So what I'm doing is basically I put 2 sheets of paper, grab the laminating pouch, open it up, and then we're going to do some trimming afterwards. So there we go, open up the pouch, make sure that these are nice and even inside, whack it in there. So if you're going to do multiples, I'll show you how to take advantage of both sides of your laminating pouch, and that way you save money too. And these are just basically going to be the carrier sheets inside your pouches here, especially for the rubber ones. Okay, so just bear with me for one moment. I'll put this through the laminator and I'll be back. So I've just finished laminating now the 2 pieces of copy paper inside my laminating pouch. What I'm going to do is grab my trimmer and I'm going to cut this in half. Roughly, okay. So when you, that creates like a pouch as well. So that's another cool way of storing your stamps. You can do a pouch like this if you want to. But I'm going to go a step further and I'm just going to cut away all of the bits that bind the laminate and the cardstock together. So I'm just going to cut those off. Just trim those off. Okay, oh, that didn't work, so I've got to go through it again. Just a little bit there, done. So when you pull these apart, you have two of them ready to go. So they will pop up like this, and that's okay. I'm going to cut the other one in half. And this is purely just for your rubber stamps to have somewhere to cling on to when you put them in your pouches, so they've got somewhere to go. And if they curl up, once you put the, I've just put my laminating sheet on top of that. If they curl up, it's not a drama, like you can just try and flatten them down, and once the stamps go on, it'll kind of stop it from curling up. So that's that one. And the reason why as well I like the copy paper is because when you put them in the pouch, you don't have a plastic bit that kind of sticks to the plastic. You can just, it easily, see, look at that, beautiful, all done there. So I'll show you how I will store a couple of the stamps. So for example, I'm going to bring, let's see, I'll bring this one here, it's called It's a Celebration. I really like this stamp, and these stars can be used for Christmas and also for New Year and birthdays. They look like sparklers. So I've never really used this stamp. See, it's brand new. I just unmounted it. So anyway, I'll show you how I'll store that one, and then I'll show you one with dies and see how much room you'll save. So I'll just grab a pouch, have that ready. There's one pouch. Get the stamp sets. I'm going to remove the packaging because I think it's good to have a record to see what your stamps are. And then I'm going to grab one of my carrier sheets and I'll just start kind of making them cling on. Now I'm going to trim that down a little bit, so I'm just trying to get an idea. And this is the old cling, mind you, which doesn't stick very well. So if you get those adhesive sheets, okay, and there's a DVD case, you can throw it out, resell it, do whatever you want to do. I'm going to trim mine down a little bit more so it takes up less room. I'll just take out just a little bit. Maybe a little bit more, why not? I'll take out about, I don't know, ½ an inch on each side. You know, it depends how you want to store it, right? So when you put it in here, it doesn't take up much room at all. Maybe I'll trim off a little bit more off the top there to make it a little bit more even. No dramas. Whatever, it doesn't have to be precise in any way. I'm going to stick my stamps onto there. I'll try and make them cling onto the shiny part, and then you have the paper on that side. And then if you have any of those adhesive cling sheets, I know Stampin' Up sells those for the new cling, or you can use old ones. This is such a shame. This has not even seen ink. That's terrible. Now this stamp has come apart for some reason, so I'll just put it back. Okay, and then put it there. So I'm going to grab my little sheet here. Now this doesn't cling well, so just warning you from the old style ones, it will not cling well, but you know what, who cares. I'll just pop this over like that. And I'll put this into my pouch. And there you have it. Well, how do you know they're stuck on? Okay, and then I'm going to just fold over the flap. And once these flatten out, look how much room you save. These two have dies. This one has no die, and it's just the rubber. And check that out with, if you're to save on 3 stamp sets, you can actually put like that. Look how much room you save. Just do it down the bottom here. So with one DVD case, you can store 3 stamp sets, 1 photopolymer, 2 rubbers, and 2 die sets, taking the room of 1 DVD case. I think it's amazing. So what I'll do is I will continue on with doing that. I'll show you a photopolymer example. I'll just grab a pouch, and I'll grab you Cool Treats. That's been around for, you know, I love this stamp set. I'll just grab the matching the matching dies. Frozen Treats, here we go. So take that out of the pouch, so that's done. However you want to store your dies, do it, whether it's with magnets, whatever, just go for it. I'm just making sure I've got them all sitting nicely. Right, just as rough. I'm going to grab now the stamps, and I kept them on with their packaging on the inside, their carrier sheets and whatnots. So that's another one gone. Use the original packaging there. I'll stick my dies behind. Oops. Seriously, it is easier. I'm just fumbling around because my hands are not gripping very well at the moment. So let's grab the 2 together. Get my pouch. And this is purely for storage. So your dies and your stamps all live in the one place. Look how much room you save. Isn't it amazing? Like, I'm just amazed. And that's one lot done. So imagine this versus that. So I'm going to continue on putting all of my stamps and dies in their little pouches, and then I'm going to show you that container, how it would look before and after, so you get an idea of what's going on. So I'll see you very soon. Okay, so basically I'm having difficulties with this sticking down because this is the old cling film, which was hopeless. Let's all admit that. So what I've done is I've saved my sticky sheets, you know, from the newer cling stamp sets. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut little strips, and you can use, you know, just bits and pieces of it. Stick that onto the old cling here. So I've got a strip here, so I'll use that. You don't even have to use much, just I'm going to put mine in the middle. And this will be enough then to undo. Like that, I'm just taking off the backing. I'm going to show you another one. I did manage to get it off, and I'm now sticking it onto the sheet, and as you can tell with the old cling and the new cling, some of them stuck down but others didn't. So I'm just going to do another one so you can see. And you know, you don't even have to use much, just a little bit. So I'm just going to use a little area here, about that much. So I just want you to remember that the bit that is stuck down there, like down here, is the bit you have to actually have on the opposite side. So this bit here that has the adhesive backing, that has to go directly onto the stamp so it sticks permanently. Okay, so just getting it off is the real challenge. So I like to use like pokey tool, or you can use your scissors, pointy scissors. Okay, and that can get your backing off. Right, so the best way to do it is just to poke it, and it gets rid of the backing. So the bit with the adhesive is the bit that has to go on the stamp. So I'll show you. So I've got the one that's easily removed, right? So it can come off and on the blocks. I'll just get my big one here. Just press it on. Take it off, and now I've got a bit here that can actually stick to my blocks. See that? And then I'll just put it onto my laminated bit. So I put it on the shiny bit, and then the paper's just on the other side. So I'm going to do that to all of my stamps, and then I'm going to show you a picture of how they look organised versus all of those DVD cases. So bear with me and I'll see you soon. To stick them all on now. So when I store these back into their case, it's going to be fine. So I'll just bring that back out. Pop that back in there. And depending on how many of those stamp sets you have, that's you know, a cheat's way of getting that organised. And you can also buy those adhesive sheets through Stampin' Up if you wish to go down that line, which I may have to for all my other stamps. So I'm just using the existing little sheets that I have. So I'll show you at the end of it all of these done. So I've got another 1, 2, 3, 4 stamp sets to go and organising my old cling into to put them on the sheets. The best thing you can do actually is to keep, as I did here with my Forever Ferns stamp set, is to actually keep the bit where the stamps go in, and I started doing that in the later years. So when it comes to, you know, removing your storage and getting it back to where it was before, yeah, that's another solution for you too. So I'd rather keep those. It actually keeps the stamps nice and together as well. All right, guys, so I'll continue on and then I'll show you the before and after. Okay, guys, so these are now my empty DVD cases. These are 18 of them. I miscalculated. I had 18 stamp sets in that box. So that's 18 of these. And I'm going to bring out all of the ones I have done now. Just bring them out quickly. Oh, forget that. That's a lot of stamp sets, right? So, oops. They're cumbersome to store. So you can imagine when you are short on space, these eventually, and if you have big collections of stamps, becomes a very big problem. So if you recall, you know, how they were, here are now my 18 sets of stamps, including, mind you, including their dies. Okay. That's not all of them. I've got 2 more. There we go. If you compare even like, say 10 of these cases, you can see, look, you can really see you've got 2 or 3 stamp sets here, and and they only take up the room of, say, one DVD case all up. You can even fit another, I don't know, 2 stamp sets in there with the same thickness of this. So if you're really running short on space, I highly recommend reorganizing your stamps and dies, putting them together in the one place so you're not fumbling around looking for where your dies are or looking for where your stamps are, and it's all in the one place so it's easy for you to look. So I'll put these in the box and you will see I can fit the same, if not more, back. These cases, seriously, I have to get rid of them. I'm going to sell them. If anyone's interested in buying any of these cases, and I know I'm getting rid of mine because I just don't have the space for them. I live in a small, apartment. I just don't have the room. This way I reclaim some of my room back. And this is how they are in the box. If you remember, that was completely full. Check that out. If you can see, there's still room to spare. So I can put all of these. You can easily look through and go like that. I still keep the original packaging so you can see exactly what you've got. And I have a word of advice with regards to your cling stamps. Now, if you want to keep the stickers on your image, so as you can see here, I used the adhesive sheets for the newest cling stamps. I've kept all of mine. If you have stamps like this where you put the old cling onto them and then you got rid of that part where you keep all your stamps in and keeps them in place, I strongly suggest either removing these labels altogether, and I think I'll do that with all of my older stamp sets because I just find this whole process really cumbersome to cut up little labels, little pieces of adhesive sheet and then stick them on. But I highly recommend this system. And with 1 sheet of laminated pouch and 2 sheets of copy paper, you can make 8 of these like carrier sheets to put on your rubber stamps. So that's an easy way of storing all of your stamps if you don't have room, if you're planning on keeping them, and you just want to create some extra space for yourself. I highly recommend this system. You can't go wrong. And yeah, these Avery Elle pouches, I use the large ones, as I said, and I'm not sponsored by Avery Elle or anything like that, but it took me a while to try and reorganize myself. What I will do as well is I will show you the after pictures at a later video where I show you how I in the end organized nearly 450 sets of stamps. It's insane how much I've collected over the years. At this stage, I'm planning on keeping them. I may sell them eventually, I don't know, but right now I need to create space. So these are the extra large stamp and die storage pouches. These are pockets, they come in a 50 pack. I like them because I can use the wider of the dies when they're in that wide format. So I just take them out of the case and put them in this case. And this way the stamp set and the dies are together and they don't take up any room at all. I just love it. It's such an easy way of storing your stamps. And of course, if you don't want to use this wide storage, you can get the smaller ones too. I've got the extra large, you can get the large. I think the large would be more than sufficient for this size. But if you want to have more this 6-inch size, which is how long these dies are, how big the big dies are from Stampin' Up, then you can get those as well. So I hope you found this really helpful. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave me a comment below and I'll answer that question within a 24 to 48 hour period, depending on how big the response was with this video. So thank you all for watching, and I hope you find this helpful in reorganizing your stamps, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.